The Los Angeles Lakers have been so good of late, they have people talking about a dynasty. So let's review. George Mikan led the Minneapolis Lakers to 5 championships in 6 seasons. When the game's first great big man retired, the dynasty went with him. Bill Russell and the Boston Celtics set the standard for all major pro sports, winning 8 straight titles and 11 in 13 seasons. Michael Jordan became the face of the modern NBA with Chicago's first three-peat. Then suddenly he left the court, only to return and rebuild the dynasty. Now, the Los Angeles Lakers chase their piece of history, their place in the argument. Behind Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, they have dispatched all challengers, winning the past 2 titles. Now, as the game's true giant continues his dominance, with the league's most electric scorer at his side, the Lakers close in on a sweep of the overpowered New Jersey Nets. A coach who led the NBA's last great team guides them, and only time stands in their way. 48 minutes from a convincing three-peat. It's not a question of whether the Los Angeles Lakers will celebrate this year's NBA championship, but how many titles they can run off to determine their ultimate place in NBA history. Game 4, next.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Going old school on the opening, and this is the Continental Airlines Arena side of Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Well, Michael Jordan's Bulls defined the 90s with their 6 championships. Kobe Bryant, a man of many outfits, wearing the Jordan jersey in tribute tonight as the Lakers attempt something the Bulls never managed. Not the three-peat, which Jordan and company accomplished twice, of course, but sweeping the finals, which the Bulls, in fact, never did. Hi again, everybody. Bob Costas at the Meadowlands will be joined shortly by Tom Tolbert. This is the Larry O'Brien Trophy, emblematic of the NBA championship. It is in the possession of the Los Angeles Lakers and figures to remain there. Let's make something clear, though. The Lakers are not unbeatable. Remember, they had to go to overtime in Game 7 versus Sacramento just to get to the finals. And the young and talented Kings will be right back at it next year. But what is also obviously true is that the Lakers are unbeatable against just about anybody else. Now the Nets, despite playing well Sunday night, are down 0-3. There is no precedent for any NBA team overcoming this deficit in any round, let alone the finals. There is, however, a recent precedent for a team getting off the deck to salvage some respect. In 1996, the Sonics dropped the first 3 games in the finals to the Bulls. Seattle then won games 4 and 5 at home to force the series back to Chicago, where the Bulls prevailed in Game 6. It's unlikely the Nets can inconvenience the Lakers in that fashion, but that's what they're aiming to do beginning tonight. Meanwhile, Tom Tolbert, the Lakers are aiming for a higher and higher spot in NBA history.
Yeah, well, the question is not if they're going to win a championship, it's when they're going to win a championship. The question should be, what is their place in the pantheon of all-time great teams? I don't know. I just wanted to say pantheon. I just wanted to get that out there. Look, my NBA point of reference is 1980 to present. With that being said, I clearly believe that the Lakers of the mid-'80s and the Celtics of the '80s are the 2 dominant teams in the last 22 years. Where do the Lakers figure? Right there. I know what you're thinking. Could they beat the Bulls? Well, Kobe versus Michael Jordan would be a hell of a matchup, but I think they would obviously have the advantage in the middle. And with reference to Kobe Bryant, I thought he was going to pay tribute to one of the greatest high jumpers of our era and wear a Mickey Mouse t-shirt, Dwight Stones.
You lost me.
Yeah, I know. I lost myself, too.
You lost me.
I do that a lot. Don't worry about it.
Explain this to me during the commercial. Coming up next, we'll hear from the Nets point man Jason Kidd as New Jersey tries to take a game from the defending champs. Kobe Bryant had his best game of the finals with 36 points in Game 3. He's 23, already a superstar, and now on the verge of winning his third NBA championship. We'll be right back.
The NBA Finals pregame show is brought to you by United, making travel easier for over 75 years. We are United.
All right, welcome back to Game 4. Now let's hear from both teams, beginning with the Lakers and Kobe Bryant, who's with Jim Gray. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. Kobe, the Nets showed signs of life in the last game. How hard will it be to fend off a desperate team?
It's going to be tough. It's always tough to try to close out a team. So, it's important that we come out with a lot of energy, stay focused, and hopefully come out with a win.
All right, Kobe, best of luck.
Thank you.
Let's send it across the way to Lewis Johnson with Jason Kidd.
Okay, Jim, thanks a lot. Well, the question for Jason Kidd is pretty simple. What's the philosophy for this game? Are you trying to avoid a sweep, or are you looking at this at one game?
Oh, we're just looking at one game. We can't think ahead. We can't think in the past. We just got to come out here and play our best basketball game and, hope that we come out with a W. The big thing is to force the tempo and, be loose and let it all hang out tonight.
All right, Jason, I know you want to take a few more shots. Thanks for stopping. Bob, back up to you.
All right, Lewis, thanks. And we're closing in on tip time in New Jersey. Up next, we'll send you courtside to join Marv Albert, Bill Walton, and Snapper Jones. You're watching the NBA on NBC. Many of those in attendance tonight at the Meadowlands also hold tickets for Friday night's Game 5, but those tickets are marked if necessary. We're about to find out if the New Jersey Nets can bring their fans back for at least one more. Time for us to throw it downstairs to the threesome led by Marv Albert. Marveloso.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. And guys, this series has reached the point where the outcome is not even in the discussion. And the major reason Shaq and Kobe are both playing at an incredible level, coming off what we saw in game number 3. They'll have total control of what is taking place.
Marv, the Laker coronation is well underway, but we must remind ourselves that in our world, all men are created equal. Then there's Shaq and Kobe, and they have developed quite the mutual admiration society.
I see him every day. I see his work ethic every day. He's very humble, and he has everything. It's nothing that kid can't do.
Kobe came alive in Game 3 after playing a subservient role in Games 1 and 2. His numbers for the final terrific across the board. His complete game on full display. But Kobe is definitely smart enough to know that Big Shaq is the real difference in this series.
Here in the finals, we just told him we're just going to come to them all game long. They have nobody inside that can match up with him, and we're just going to pound it inside. So I'm not surprised at all. And, we did a similar thing last year in the finals, but this year the way he's playing is just, it's ridiculous.
Pound it in and throw it down has become the mantra for LA. The big man has been beyond description and categorization here. The last 5 games, going back to the conference finals, he has never played better. So great that he has moved to the top of the charts on the all-time scoring leaders list by average in NBA Finals history. Now, the Lakers have to work really hard one more time. For them, the sooner the better, because if they don't get it done tonight, it's only going to get harder from here on in.
All right, Steve, as for the Nets head coach Byron Scott is hoping to build off the strong performance from his club in Game 3. It was really the first time that they genuinely challenged the Lakers.
Yeah, they challenged because they had a game plan. It was pressure and push, and they finally got that game plan going in the second half. And, of course, it was ignited by Jason Kidd. Kidd with penetration, found the open man, and when there were big plays to be made, Jason Kidd was up to the task. So they got to put 4 quarters together. They had a sensational second half where they shot the ball better than they've ever done, outscored the Lakers in the paint, and Kidd was tremendous. And then Kenyon Martin plays as well. They will be able to win a ball game tonight. You got the little kids from the East playing the bullies from the West, and what they've got to do is steal a game. So look for this game to be stolen right at the outset.
All right, coming up, it's game number 4 of this best of 7. The Lakers feel they're closing in on their 3rd straight championship. The Nets hoping to extend to a Game 5 on Friday night. Back with the starting lineups in the opening tip in a moment. A capacity crowd better than 20,000 here at Continental Airlines Arena, East Rutherford.